just take a minute to center once we start recording.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So, hi, beautiful sisters, and welcome. Today, I have an honor, and I'm really excited to introduce to Emilia Nash, the founder of the Rising with Gaia Sacred Feminine Partnership, Sacred Partnership Summit. And to me, the way I see Emilia, she is a truly heart-centered feminine leader with an amazing heart, big vision, and the courage to say yes to that vision, and an amazing generosity of spirit. So you truly are in the right place if you are ready for the harmonious and inspiring partnership with your divine right partner. And I do feel like this is promising to be a very rich energetic experience, judging by what we experienced so far of being part of behind the scene in this summit. And today, the purpose of this call is really to share with you of how you can make most out of this summit, out of this experience. And I'm very happy to now give it to Emilia to start sharing with us of what we can be and do as part of that experience.
Yes, thank you, Yana. Thank you, sisters that are on this call. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so honored and excited that we are here. And I would like to just start with a tuning song that aligns us with spirit. I use a tuning fork of the Om frequency, and I will tune it so that we can all hear it. And then I will use a tuning fork for the heart chakra frequency, which is 639 hertz. And these are the frequencies that connect us with, align us with spirit, with our souls, and with Mother Earth. So I'm going to do that now.
Beautiful.
Welcome, sisters. Welcome to the Sacred Partnership Summit. I am so excited to welcome you. I'm so honored you came. I can't wait to share with you all the juicy goodness of what we have created together with Spirit and Mother Earth, and over almost 30 other women involved in this in the way of speakers, space holders, visionaries, Gaia guardians, sound healers, energetic healers, relationship coaches, the love coaches, confidence coaches, meditation teachers, and Gaia herself. Thank you.
Beautiful, Emilia. Thank you. And with this start, you can already see that there is so much more to this summit than it is for the just information sharing, which is a powerful part of it, of course. Lots of tools, lots of insights on the information level, but there is so much more to that summit, and there is so much more to the energy of it. And that's what I would love you, Emilia, to share more with us today.
Thank you. You know, I would just want to say that I had this passion, and I love Anthony Robbins, and I love Harv Eker, and all these leaders, all these men leaders, right? And they would teach manifestation, and they would teach business, and they would teach wealth, and they would teach all these amazing tools for having a great life. And I was always so inspired by them, but I always had this little question in my heart that was like, how does that work if you want to create that in the feminine? Like, what does that look like if you want to create a successful business, if you want to create a lot of wealth or a lot of health or a lot of joy or a lot of peace in your life, great relationships, connections with spirit? What would it look like if that was done in the feminine? It didn't feel right somehow to write a list and check off goals. And I'm sure many of you will relate. And I found even that when I went to learn from female teachers, they were teaching the masculine path also, right? And nothing wrong with the masculine path. I majorly love it. It's super fun. And the idea is not that we, renounce our masculine energy or renounce the masculine way of doing things. But there's a way that just feels so much more aligned with a feminine spirit and a feminine heart. And so I had this question, but I did not have an answer. But I wanted to explore the question, and I wanted to live into the question. And I wanted to share that the experience of the summit and how all the sisters have come together to support each other and support me and work together to create this amazing offering has been that experience.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, as you were sharing, like where it started, it's almost like that the summit is the expression of that feminine way of creating something. So being in the true feminine power leadership role. Of being the center of it.
The answer to my soul's question that I had open to the universe for so long. It was like, how do I do this? How do I create this? Who's a good teacher for this? Yeah. And what's just been amazing, walking into the space, stepping into the space, the sacred partnership, the sacred sistership that has happened with the speakers and the other teachers, and some of the digital assistants that we had, Jessica, who was helping us with their website, Kate, Yana, and Tamara, and all the speakers that are holding space for the event. And so, yes, so we lived into the answer. And I just want to share what it felt like was leaning into this very strong, very soft, velvety web of interconnection, of deep interconnection, of a deep sense of safety, security, and a most profound trust of like, hey, I didn't know this net existed, but it's beautiful and I'm going to lean into it. And that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to create in the feminine. It looks like leaning into the web that interconnects all women.
Exactly. So it kind of takes both, like it takes you stepping into it, but at the same time being welcomed and seeing that you're already being supported before you even make the step. And it, to me, like, as you're sharing that, it feels like this is really the gesture of the summit, and that's what the participants can do as well, is just now with that web being created and being present already for them to step into it too, to be carried and supported by the energy of this summit, by this sacred energy, which is is forming and growing as more people are stepping into the web.
Yes, and you are welcome here. You are honored here. We love you. We know that you don't come perfect, and healed and whole in every way, you know, because nobody is, right? We know that you come as you are. We invite you as you are. We invite you with all of who you are, all of what you hold, your questions, your struggles, your needs, your even unknown needs, your sense of grief if you have it around your life, or maybe shame that's not even known to you. We welcome everything. We welcome every little itty bitty piece of who you are. And I can just say that with 100% honesty, because I felt that welcomed in that way in creating this event.
Beautiful. So yeah, it is really like the welcome is the theme. It feels like of the summit, of the people bringing in their sacred desires, their sacred impulses and the insights, and then taking them and being uplifted and carry forward with the common energy of the summit. And do you want to share some experience of what the unseen part of it looked like, or how that web looked to you, or what was the other experiences
Yeah,
within there?
thanks, Yana. Yeah, there is this. I want to share about the unseen, right? Because my teacher, Allison Armstrong, that I've studied with for 10 years, she's one of the speakers on this summit, and she teaches about the feminine forms of power. And oftentimes, feminine forms of power are unseen. They're unseen. She says that we're most powerful when there's an unoccupied space, So that's what we have here. We have an unoccupied space for you to walk into, where all the speakers are walking in with their gifts, and they're offering their gifts. And it just feels like a huge, we have this analogy of like this beach ball. It's a really huge space, but it's really easy to carry and maneuver. And so imagine walking into the unseen power of the feminine that really is magical, really is the power that makes a house a home. It's something that we're not going to see. It effects are not going to be seen. They're going to be felt. And that's how you're going to know that you're in the right place. And we welcome you, and we have a lot of interviews, and we have a lot of information. And one of the big intentions of this summit was that it wouldn't be like a big dump of information, that it would be an opportunity for an up-leveling of your vibration.
Beautiful.
And a transformation. So that's why the interviews are very short. They're not an hour. They're like 20, 30. Most of them are approximately 30, 35 minutes. And they're meant to give you a taste and an energetic impartation, impart an energetic charge to you, so that
imprinting.
Yes,
the energetic imprint.
So that you can just ride with that. And so, you know, one of the things that I've been on some other summits, and I've heard, you know, show up on time, show up to all the calls. That's how you're going to get the most value of the summit. That's how you're going to learn the most. That's how you're going to get the most tips, the most crucial information, you know. And I just want to tell you, don't stress. And we have this little dance that we had going as we were building this with my digital gal, Jessica, and it's lean back, lean back, lean back.
Yeah, I really like it. It's
lean back.
And lean this back. Is again in the true power of the feminine, right? So to create and to step forward, but without effort. So to really allow it to be effortless. And that brings us to the practical aspect of how you can make most out of the seen part of the assignment, which means the interviews and the participation. So can you share a little bit on that aspect of how people can?
Yes, thank you. So obviously we have, you know, you can show up to the interviews on time and listen to them free. They start on May 11th at 9 a.m. And there's an interview at 9, at 11, at 1, at 3, and at 5 p.m. So there's 5 a day. And this is in Pacific time. Mark your calendars. It's in Pacific time. So you can show up and listen to those interviews. And as they air, they will stay up on the Emerald Pass site and also on the webcast site. And you can listen to them through the entire duration of the summit, and we'll probably have them up for another 24 to 48 hours after the summit. So like, don't stress, you know, have faith that you'll catch what you need to catch. And if you don't, I created this amazing Emerald Pass, and it's called the Emerald Pass because it's meant to be a sacrament. And I talked about what that means a little bit, but basically is a sacrament is something that we can see and hold that holds the intention of an unseen reality. And so like the unseen reality is the experience of the summit, the love, the intention that we're going to set around sacred partnership, the intention that we're going to set around in connecting with the other participants and being in that space. And the Emerald Pass is the physical thing that you can have that when you choose to purchase it, you will be able to print it out and put it on your wall, and it will be the physical representation of all of that unseen magic that
Beautiful.
you're going to experience here with us.
Thank you, Emilia. And we will come back to the Emerald Pass just in a minute. As well in a more practical way. But as you were sharing right now, I also thought about the unseen portion and then transferring it into the manifest, into the seen and tangible results. I believe like the other important thing for our participants, for your participants in the summit to be, is the working with their own intention, right? Is to really be clear on the intention of why you're coming into that space. And sometimes it not may be precisely defined in the moment when you come. You just feel drawn to be part of it, which is awesome because that's the unseen, that's the space which is calling you in. But at the same time, the power of intention is so strong. So if you have that intention for the summit, that would allow you to move so much more forward in that realization of your dream, in that calling of your soul. And for you to become a bit more clear on the intention, because as I mentioned, sometimes it's not always right there in front of you. Emilia created this beautiful interview, like for people to help them to kind of step into the flow even before the summit starts. And this is the interview of Emilia speaking about the 3 mistakes people often do in their partnership, which doesn't allow it to flourish into the sacred partnership. And this video, I believe, is, and please, please take from there, because I'm not entirely sure how the logistic of this thing works, but I believe it's on the same page where this introduction will be, so you can start stepping into that energy even before the summit begins.
Yes, and you can start setting sacred space. And I want you to think of this like a seed. I want you to think of it like a seed. So I would even encourage you to take a really pretty piece of paper with some gorgeous pens that you like to write with, or markers or colors, and just write out a few things. And they could just be things that from where you are now in your life seem like a miracle, right? Like it's like, oh, I want an amazing man who treats me like a queen. I want to have a partnership where I feel seen and loved for who I am. I want to have the opportunity to show up as my full self and be supported in my life's work as a healer or as an empath or as a woman in the work that I'm doing, a meditation teacher, whatever it is that you want to be doing as your contribution on the planet. And I want to just encourage you, write that on a little piece of paper or draw it, or just hold something and put all those good intentions into it. And then think of it like, for the duration of the summit, from May 11th to May 14th, think of it like you're going to put it in the soil. Like Mother Earth does this magic, right? Like we put a seed in the soil and it grows into a plant, and we don't know how, and we don't go check it, every few days, like, hey, how far have you gone in your growth? We just let Mother Earth do her magic. And I want to say that there's the same magic that happens with our intentions. And I don't know how she does it. I don't know how this happens. I just know that it does. And again, this is the unseen power of the feminine, right? I don't know how it happens, but it does. And so I urge you to take advantage, doesn't feel like a right word, but jump on that horse and write those intentions and put them in the ground and give them a little water by your participation and your showing up in the interviews and being part of the community. You can think of that as the watering of the intention, and it will come to pass. It will come to pass. That intention is a possibility. It's a seed, and it will be nurtured in this experience.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Like, this is such a powerful image of that seed and how it starts to germinate during the summit, and using all this energy, the collective intention will be kind of you almost putting your little seed into the collective field, and then
Yes.
everything starts to come up
And
together.
we're like the Miracle Grow.
Yes,
So we're like the
exactly.
fertilizer times 10,
Yeah.
so just think of it that way. It's like this space is just sacred and magical, and
Yeah.
bringing your intentions and your wishes and your deepest dreams, the ones that are so deep inside that you almost sometimes don't even dare bring those because they are all sacred.
Yes, and they also feed the web, so then the web becomes stronger, and then the whole thing grows, which is amazing, which is self-supporting mechanism, really.
Yes.
And using the same metaphor going forward, that's where the Emerald Pass is almost like it's a next step in integration. So you would have this huge uplift from the energy of the summit and from the participation in whichever way you choose to participate, but also then you can take the piece of that with you and keep carrying it forward with the recordings, because what I also learned in my own experience of life and being coached and being a coach is that sometimes you have this interview, you listen to something and it makes perfect sense and it inspires you, and then you listen to the same thing a week or like a month from there, it's like, wow, did I really listen to that? Like, totally different information comes out
Golden
of it.
level.
There are
Yeah.
so many different levels depending on where we are in our space and time, and so we can get so much more out of them. And that's where I truly believe, like, it's not, those things are not one-off things, they really keep growing with you, like those teachings, they keep growing
Right, they keep
with
nurturing
recipient.
that. And so
Yeah.
just to give some structural guidance here, so the Emerald Pass gives you all the recordings of the audio interviews that you're going to be able to hear live throughout the course of the event. You're going to get the videos of most of the speakers. You're also going to get a summary sheet that I created for each interview. It's kind of like a Emilia's Notes version of it, and you're going to be able to have access to it anytime you want it, if you need a healing or if you just want to check in with the energy again. So that's what you get with the Emerald Pass, and so I highly recommend it. And I also want to say that there's a part of it that, yeah, we're charging money for the Emerald Pass, and our intention in charging money is to honor the interdependence of all things through the sacred economy. So Yana, can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I'm just tuning into, like, it's such a powerful transmission and such a powerful interaction today that the information is just keeps flowing. And for the economy of things, like, we kind of talked about that a little bit as well before, to understand, like, speaking of this entire web of interaction that we have, that we are part of that larger whole, and each person and each piece playing its own role, but it's also dependent on all the other ones. And that's where money is almost like this energy which is flowing between those pieces sometimes, because we, in order to bring some good to the world and to do and to be the change that we want to be, we really need money as well. And the way I feel like how it's playing out here in this interaction is that the part of the proceeds from the Emerald Pass go to support some of the women in need, some of the right causes in this world. So really creating the ripple effect and sending this energy forth, not just in the form of money, but also in the form of all this energy which this money carry from the experience of the summit. So I just seen this vision now. It's almost like taking this light and kind of bringing it forward to others, because that's what we want to build. That's what we want to
Yes.
become our next version of economy, is when everybody's sharing and receiving back what they wanted and what they need, and giving what they can. And as a result, how the well-being of everyone grows.
Yes, and I truly believe that's possible. So there's a commitment to align spending with the business portion of this, right? Like hiring the web designer, hiring the tech people, hiring the buying the website, addresses and all these things, right? And then there's also like, okay, and so now we stepped in and we stepped into the space and we created this experience, and how do we want to energetically release that out into the world? And so there's the money part of it, right? Where, you know, a portion of the proceeds will go to most likely Women for Women International. We'll vote on it on the Facebook page. But I also want to talk about the part that you play, right? And why this is about Mother Earth and why this is on Mother's Day. Because the part that you play in this is that you do your part. You do your part in terms of the transformation, and you do your part in terms of showing up to your dreams and nurturing your intention. And that's your part. And so when your light is lit, when your candle is lit, you get to light your sister's candle, and she gets to light her sister's candle, and she gets to light her sister's candle, and on and on and on and on. So what I call you to is you to show up to your dreams, to your full intention and sacred partnership with men, with yourself, with your environment, with your boss, with whoever it is that you are wanting to create a sacred partnership with. That's your part in this, right? Aside from the monetary aspect, there's the energetic and the intentional aspect. So I invite you into this I don't want to say taking it on, but just embracing that and living in your life what you want to see in the world at large, in terms of peace, in terms of communication, in terms of understanding and empathy. And so this is why we're doing this, because there's not just environmental pollution, there's also psychic pollution and emotional pollution in Mother Earth. And by us stepping into healing and sacred partnership with men and inviting men to partner with us in the work that we're doing with the divine feminine and reclaiming our power as women, it's sacred work. It's sacred work, and we do heal Mother Earth with it. We do heal Mother Earth. So just you being in the summit is going to be healing and is going to be up-leveling your vibration, and that alone is going to nurture love on the planet, right? But there's so much more that you could show up to in terms of showing up to all the interviews and purchasing the Emerald Pass, or even if you'd like to give us a donation, we'll accept donations that can then go to Women for Women and International or other charities. So I just wanted to mention that part of it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Emilia, for sharing. And it is so symbolic that the summit is happening around the Mother Day. So it is to honor the feminine energy, which is flourishing and stepping into its power. And it's to honor the Mother Earth itself, to be the mother of all of us. So I really, really love that symbolic message of it as well.
With your intentions, with you sowing the seeds, with your love, with your thoughts and your focus on the summit, you are healing Mother Earth, because this is about showing up to your own inner healing and your own divine feminine and nurturing yourself and allowing yourself to be nurtured by the summit. And also there's one little piece in here too that I want to talk to why it's on Mother's Day is, yes, we want to honor Mother Earth, and we want to give our energy to her, our energy of participation to her, but we also want to be in right sacred partnership with our own mother. And, you know, our mother is the source of our understanding of relationship and our understanding of partnership. And so we really, and we talk about this in some of the interviews, and we talk about that with Allison, is that we really would have a hard time stepping into sacred partnership with a man, or with any creature for that matter, without making peace with our relationship with our mother, whether it was good or bad, or whether it's still challenging, whatever way that it is. So that's the other part about it being on Mother's Day, is that really honoring that connection to mother, to our own mother, and to Mother Earth, and that's an important part of being able to have a sacred partnership.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope that you're watching this interaction and you're watching this download. Really, that's what happened today for us. you're already stepping into that energy, and you're already feeling the power of this energy to carry you forward, to allow your dreams to come true, to really be in touch with yourself and moving in that sense of connection forward into the world and creating beauty in the world. So thank you so much for being with us here today, and welcome to the summit space. I wouldn't say the website at all. Like it is a space, it is a sacred space where the partnership can flourish and unfold. And thank you so much, Emilia, for stepping up, saying yes to your vision, being courageous to say yes to that and to really create it. Thank you.
Yes, my honor and my pleasure, and thank you. And I want to invite you to our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups, and it's a Sacred Partnership Community. So come join us there. Let us know your thoughts, your comments, your needs, your questions, your yearnings, your longings, your dreams. Share with us what you're struggling with. And also, I want to tell you that to honor the event and the energy, we're doing a ceremony. We're doing a ceremony on Mother's Day, which is May 14th, and it's going to be at 5 p.m., and that's Pacific, so that's 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're still downloading the particulars of the ceremony and how it's going to take place. So stay tuned, because we'll send an email out and also update on the Facebook group. But you're welcome to tune in at 5 p.m. for the ceremony for Mother's Day.
That will be awesome. And I'm sure this information will be available on the website, on the, which part of the website? On the webcast part of the website?
It's going to be on the webcast. We're going to send out an email, and it will also be on the Facebook page.
Excellent. So it's just stay tuned and you will get the information as it becomes available. You see, this whole thing is co-creation in action right now. So it's being created as we go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Emilia.
Oh, and there's one thing I want to say. There's a verse in the Bible, and this is kind of interesting, and I will not say it correctly, okay, because I'm not a big Bible person, but even though I love God and we go to like a church, but there's a verse that says, "You are my creation in whom I'm well pleased." And I'll find that verse and post it on the Facebook wall, but I want to just say that that's the message I'm getting right now, is that you are a creation. You are a wondrous thing of beauty, in whom Spirit, Source, Mother Earth, a God, a goddess, the universe is well pleased.
Beautiful. Let's conclude at that.
Yes, thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.